Yeah. Oh my goodness. I feel like before the season ends, I'm going to exhaust all my years. But then again, yo. Yo. See, ladies and gentlemen, yeah? There are a set of people I really do like, admire, and respect. Is it a set of people who make bold decisions, especially on the Big Brother show? And this set of people I'm talking about right now, aside from life in general, I'm also referring to inside the Big Brother house, on this social experiment that we are all watching together and experiencing together, yeah? I really do admire people who make bold decisions. They make those decisions, they know that they are making those decisions. They do not deny it. With their eyes wide open, or maybe their brains shut, however way, they walk into certain situations knowing fully well that, yes, this is what I want to do. And then after doing whatever they want to do, they own up to it. Why? Because they understand the principles of accountability. They understand the concept of responsibility. They understand the business of owning up to your bullshit. Yep. And so whatever they do, whatever type of atrocity they commit, whatever kind of mistake they make, whatever kind of deliberate action they take, when it is tabled before them, they take accountability for it. They own up to it. They do not try to gaslight people into thinking, oh my God, I did not do X, Y, Z. Oh my God, I did not know what I was doing. No, they own up to it with their full chest. And wherever they messed up, wherever they faltered in their actions, maybe they miscalculated, they're able to take a step back, have a moment of introspection, and then admit that they are wrong and admit that they are looking forward to growth from this learning process. They turn that whole situation into a learning process. You see people like that. I admire people like that. I respect people like that. And in this season of Big Brother, there's only just a few of such people. Just a few. Just a few of such people. Now, I understand that a game is at play here. And of course, these housemates are going to be in their acting elements. They are going to, deny a lot of things. They are going to want to play mind games with their fellow housemates, with the viewers, with production as well. I totally understand. However, it's always very refreshing to experience housemates who are all of these things or some of these things that I have described. Now, why am I saying all of this? I watched the aftermath of the live eviction show yesterday, and guys, see, if my head could fall off from my neck from the constant my head would have fallen off because I was just shaking my head. Listening to Jasonjae and him trying to explain himself to Faith, and then much later on, his explanation to Sultana, which did not make sense, if I do say so myself. Guys, it was so pathetic. Oh, and then that was Dede. The almost crying session that she had with Midday, And Midday as well, standing in as the solid, supportive friend, trying to encourage Dede, telling her that, oh, you tried though. And ladies and gentlemen, I was doing my calculations and I'm thinking, hold on a second. Is it just me that is stuck in the loophole somewhere? I mean, has this show been going on for a year? Okay, maybe a year is too far. Has this show been going on for 6 months or even 3 months? Or even 5 months? Because the way Midday was talking about, oh, you've tried, oh, they should give you some grace, oh, you've tried, she made it sound like they've been stuck in the house for over 1 year. And once again, I'm not going to pretend or act like I do not understand that, in such a confined space with limited to nothing to even do at all to while away your time other than whatever task, activities, and gossip sessions that are available to you inside that house. You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I do not know that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Yes, that because of the limited options of things to do or things to engage your mind in, the only other thing that these housemates could likely be thinking about most of the time is sex. I'm not going to sit down here and pretend like I do not know that as a fact. However, where is the place of taking accountability for your actions? I feel like this preamble is too lengthy already. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for wasting your time, or maybe not wasting your time, but just kind of setting the tone for this conversation, the conversation of this video. Ladies and gentlemen, on this video, we're going to be looking at the various reactions of the different housemates that were exposed last night during the live eviction show via Ebuka's interactions with the housemates. You know, there's a lot to unpack from there. And on this video, we're going to be doing all of that unpacking and analyzing, all right? And also, last night, late into the night, before there was some sort of break in transmission because it went on for a bit, and by the time they returned, all the housemates were asleep, right? So yeah, late last night, there was a round table conversation that got Faith clocking and unclocking the two main, you know, ships and the besties in the house. I think I'm going to explain that on another video because there's a lot I really want to analyze, all right? So on this video, we're going to focus basically on the aftermath of the live eviction show from last night, all right? So please make sure you watch to the end. Do not skip out in any part. There's a lot you surely do not want to miss out on. And of course, I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, before we get into it, hi, you're all specially welcome to my channel. My name is Bbnaija. This is Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija, and I am the girl with the tea. Without further ado, let's dive right into the details of this video. Now, after the live eviction show, the whole house was still sort of trying to recover from the shock of Ebuka's revelations during the show. And conversations was just flowing everywhere. Now, beginning with Kola. Kola's first concern was the fact that he survived eviction in week 8 and he is now automatically in week 9. So in his conversation with K-Bobo, he was wondering what exactly is he doing, you know, that got him into the next week, that this is quite surprising. He doesn't even know what he's doing. And K-Bobo was telling him, well, you don't really have to do much, just be you, just be yourself. Which is very funny, guys. I mean, I find it very hilarious every time these housemates talk about, oh, just be yourself, just be yourself. Because it always begs the question of, what is yourself? Is being yourself enough? Because when we think about it, oh, just be yourself, it makes me wonder, okay, the way Kola carries himself around the house, is that truly himself? The way K-Bobo has conducted himself this entire season, is that truly himself? It's quite debatable, right? But anyways, that's on the side. Now, Kola also seemed to be proud of himself, that his name comes up in almost every conversation. Yeah, he was saying something about, oh, I think Jasonjae saying that, oh, any conversation Ebuka mentions, oh, Kola's name is involved, Kola's name is there, and here and there and here and there. But it seems to be quite proud of himself. And guys, I'm going to be frank with all of you. I am also proud of Kola because it's not easy to be so relevant that your name comes up in almost every conversation and you get to survive eviction to week 9 of the season. It's not easy. So kudos to him for all of his hard work. Yes. Now, there was also Jasonjae. Guys, you remember on some of my videos, I think in one of my videos yesterday, I'd mentioned to all of you that Jasonjae is trying so hard to create this triangle, this entanglement situation in the house, you know, with Faith and then also involving Joanna and Sultana. He had tried it before with Dede and Sultana, but it did not work because Dede is just not that girl. Dede is not that person. And also Sultana has sort of messed up the whole situation for him by peeing in Dede's box. So Dede does not want to be anywhere close to any situation that involves Sultana or anybody that she is involved with. Yes. So she's been keeping her distance. Both girls have been keeping their distance from each other. Yes. Now back to Jason. Jason was talking about how, oh, any girl that has a thing or two with Faith always seems to be ending up on his radar. Yeah. And in a way, I was trying to make it seem like it wasn't quite intentional. So later on, we had seen him trying to explain himself and his situation with Joanna, with Sultana, to Faith in the dressing area, but Faith shuts down the conversation. And I love the fact that he shut down the conversation. For him, it doesn't matter, it's fine. I mean, he's cool, you know, no grudges held, no issues whatsoever. After all, they only have 2 weeks left in the house, so it's fine, you know. And you could tell that Jason was sort of disappointed. Like, he really wanted to explain himself, which I found quite funny, because this guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He is unbothered about it. For him, that is his game. And he feels like he's actually doing the best thing. I mean, look, he's come a long way. He's in week 9 now. So he knows that, okay, or let me say he probably feels like what he is doing is working for him. And that is what has brought him this far. So him starting off a conversation with Faith is definitely going to spark up more conversations or possibly blow up. Yes. So the fact that Faith shut down the conversation and assured him that they were cool guys, I really loved it, because, yeah, if the conversation had happened, more can of worms would have been opened. And Faith did not want to entertain that. And Faith's refusal to engage in that conversation with him sort of threw Jasonjae off balance, because he kind of looked flustered. And that was the exact thing that was in my head was the exact same thing that Faith said to him, that, oh, you look flustered. And Jason was like, oh, what's that? He said, oh, you look kind of shaken, or, you know, kind of shocked or surprised. And obviously Jason he really was flustered, because after that time with Faith, he had moved on to one of the lockers and he had just rested his hands on his head, and he was just there, felt like he was trying to catch his breath. I don't know if he was out of regret or whatever, guys. I don't know. Yes, but he had his moment to himself. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, Jasonjae knows what he's doing. That is his game. Yes. Started off the season being the games master, being the competitive guy in the arena. That did not necessarily work for him in the long run, because he got heartbroken in the process. And then probably decided to flip the script and begin to play the Casanova in the house, the one that is with this girl and that girl. And that is exactly what he's doing. Because also, if you think about it, his response during the live eviction show, it's a huge pointer to the fact that he is excited. I mean, the fact that Ebuka asked him those questions, it made him feel like, oh my God, my plans are actually working. Oh yes, I'm excited. It made him feel like the most sought after guy of the house, of the season. It made him feel like the hottest guy in the house. So the one that is with this girl that is thick and fine, and then the one that is with this supermodel, 3 times beauty queen, being in her bed last night. It was such a huge achievement for him. It was such a huge gameplay for him. You could see his ego rising and rising and rising, just as his friends, Rule Boy, Culture, and the rest were hyping him up, calling him City Boy. He felt like he had literally scored his point, the point he had been trying to make all season. That was a turning point for him. But then afterwards, after the whole live eviction show, he started trying to give off the energy of, oh my God, I'm regretting what I did. But guys, let me tell you for a fact, Jasonjae was not regretful of his actions at all. He wasn't. He wasn't. I mean, from his conversations with Sultana later on last night, you could tell that he was very comfortable in the game he was playing. But we're going to talk more about that conversation on another video. Now, quickly moving on to Dede and Midday's conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you all on my previous video that Dede did not expect Ebuka to expose her activities with color beneath the sheets the way he did during the live show yesterday. She was badly shaken. Yeah, she was shaken. She was scared. She was really disturbed. And so Midday was trying to encourage her. Now, everything Midday said made a lot of sense, right? I mean, when you look at their friendship situation, you would expect that that is how a friend should console a friend. So Mide said all the right things that a friend should speak to a friend in such a situation. And I give Mide kudos for that. Mide is very, very emotionally intelligent. She always, okay, maybe not always, but she almost always knows the right things to say in different situations. And I really admire her for that. However, you could tell that she was quite two-faced about the whole situation. Because if you think about it, number one, Dede's biggest influence in that house is Midday. The fact that Dede is doing what she's doing with Kola now, it's all kudos to Midday. Midday is that one friend that ensured that she was the enemy within that Dede did not easily see. She ensured that together with Bright and Kola, she manipulated the majority of Dede's decisions regarding her situation with Kola in that house. Midday played a vital role in aiding Kola's game and his chase and his mission to conquer Dede. She played a huge role there. She was that snitch, that enemy within, that kept on packing information from Dede's camp to Bright and Kola's camp. So yes, we can all conclude that, oh, at the end of the day, it was not Midday that led Dede to go and sleep in the same bed with Kola. Dede did it by herself. I agree with you, but two things can be right at the same time, right? Before Dede got to that point, there was somebody that kept on urging her on. There was somebody that kept on egging her on. Sorry for that word. Egging her on. There was someone that kept on trying to convince her that, oh, it's not okay that she's alone. She needs a sheep. She needs a sheep to survive in the house. And that person was Midday. There was that person that kept on, pushing her into allowing some level of intimacy between herself and Kola. And you see, for that particular part, that level of intimacy thingy, it came from a place of, okay, I have a friend. My friend has boundaries. My friend has a standard. I also have boundaries. I also have a standard, But then it's not going to look good if it seems like I'm the only one that is already fucking around in the house. I'm the only one that's already kissing around in the house. Also, it doesn't make it look really good because the guy I am doing all of these things with, he already declared to the whole world that he has a girlfriend outside. So I don't want to be the only sinner here. My friend also has to be a sinner. So that is where that was coming from. And ladies and gentlemen, this happens between friends a lot, especially in female friendships. It happens a lot. It has happened to me as well. You have a friend that is very, very wayward, or maybe a friend that has a very, very high sexual libido, or a friend that is always involved in one nasty thing or the other. And then you, as the other friend, you're not necessarily built that way. So most of the time when they are caught up in their own activities, it makes them feel lonely in that area, and it makes it look like, oh, you are the good one and they are the bad egg. So they try to ensure that you also do what they do so that both of you are on the same page, so that both of you are even. That way, it gives them a sense of peace and sanity that if there were to be some sort of judgment on both of you, it would be that both of you are the same thing. So with Midday, that was where that was coming from. So why am I explaining this? Listening to her tell Dede that, you've tried, for how long? You deserve some grace. You deserve some grace. Whoever this person is that you are dating outside, he deserves to give you some grace because after all, it's not easy. I was asking myself that, wait, hold on a second. Has this social experiment been going on for over 5 months? Or let's say 6 months or even 1 year? I mean, this is 8 weeks we're talking about. 8 weeks. So why is Midday making it look like self-control is almost impossible in Big Brother's house? I mean, there are housemates in that house that have not even kissed. Yeah? Rude Boy has been in that house for how many weeks now? 8 weeks. Has he kissed? No. If I am not wrong. And that is if the cameras are not playing mind games with me. Faith has been in that house. 8 weeks, guys. Did I say 8 months? 8 weeks. He's not kissed. He's not done any smooching of any sort. Manson also has been in that house 8 weeks. He's not kissed. He's not done anything. Why am I citing all of these examples? As much as I understand that people are different in their own way, people's bodies, their hormones functions in different ways, guys. It is also a truth that if you want to exercise self-control, you can. If you want to, you can. If it happens the first time, well, you could say that, okay, fine, it's a mistake. It will never happen again. But then when it becomes a continuous affair, it means you're actually enjoying what you're doing. You can't necessarily blame it on the house all the time. You too, you need to be able to take some level of the blame. So Midday going on and saying that, oh, you've tried 8 weeks, you've tried. That was her trying to console herself from all of the shenanigans that she's been doing with Bright Morgan in the house. And then her now telling Dede that, oh, that she and Bright Morgan, they've kissed now, even though it's just once or twice. I say, ha, Midday, you and Bright Morgan have kissed just once or twice. You don't want to tell your friend that you and Bright Morgan, you've been on project making babies for the past 8 weeks, especially week 8. That people were literally doing it back to back, back to back, back to back. But ladies and gentlemen, as I said, in that conversation with Dede, Midday said all the right things that a friend should tell another friend in that situation. And I really applaud her for that, because everything she said to Dede was what Dede needed to hear. Telling Dede that, oh, Dede should not beat herself up too much. You know, they are in a social experiment, they're in a confined space, anything could happen, blah, blah, blah. I totally agree with her. Anything could happen, yes. And Dede, in a way, was also sort of trying to twist the narrative. She was trying to make it seem like nothing happened beneath the sheets. And I'm like, girl, have you forgotten that not once, not twice, not 3 times, you and Kola, you've been engaged in your kissing affairs, you've smooched, and whatever else you did beneath the sheets that you used the duvet to cover yourself about, and then the cameras did not really want to show. Have you forgotten that even in one occasion, you saw that the camera caught you guys and you were like, oh, damn it, fuck, damn it. So what do you want to debunk? What do you want to debunk? And you see, this is the part where it really gets me mad. Hence the reason I was giving all of those preambles at the start of this video. That what is it with these housemates doing stuff and they're not being able to own up to their bullshit, but then trying to come and debunk and trying to spin the narratives. It doesn't really make sense, because you cannot gaslight the viewers from what they watched live on TV. You can't gaslight the viewers like that. You can gaslight the gullible ones, but then the ones that actually watch the show without emotions, you can't really gaslight all of us. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop talking here right now, because I would love to hear from all of you your thoughts about the aftermath of the live eviction show, the housemates' reactions, Dede and Midday's conversation, what's his name now, Jasonjae, trying to explain himself to Faith. I would love to hear your thoughts about all of that. So please go ahead and share, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day.